In the summer of 2007, global football scouts gathered in South Korea to watch the future of the sport. This particular under-17 tournament featured an extraordinary collection of young talent. These players would go on to win Champions Leagues, lift World Cups, and earn hundreds of millions of euros. Yet, during that tournament, none of them were the main attraction. The absolute center of attention was a 17-year-old forward from Abuja, Nigeria. His name was Macauley Chrisantus. Chrisantus scored 7 goals in 7 matches. He did not just win the Golden Boot, he dictated the pace of the entire competition. He outmaneuvered Colombia, broke through Argentina's defense, and scored the vital goal that eliminated Toni Kroos' Germany in the semi-finals. When Nigeria lifted the trophy, Chrisantus won both the Golden Boot and the Silver Ball. Top European clubs immediately prepared contract offers. Real Madrid drafted terms, and Chelsea representatives approached his camp. He was widely regarded as the natural successor to African football legends and next big thing to come out of Africa. But if you look at the sport today, a confusing reality emerges. While his peer like Toni Kroos, David De Gea, Eden Hazard, Christian Benteke, James Rodriguez, and Kevin Trapp retired at the very top of world football, Macauley Chrisantus is playing out his final professional days in complete obscurity. He never won a major European club trophy. He never played in a senior World Cup. In fact, he never earned a single senior appearance for the Nigerian national team. Instead, he became a football nomad, playing for nearly 20 different clubs across Germany, Spain, Turkey, Greece, Finland, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and Gibraltar. The curious question is, what really happened? How does a young player with this much potential completely disappear from top-tier football? Today we examine the unfortunate incident that destroyed the career of Chrisantus before it even started. To understand what went wrong, we have to look closely at what made Macauley Chrisantus so dangerous in 2007. At 17, African strikers often dominate youth tournaments due to raw, physical development. But Chrisantus was different. He wasn't just faster or stronger than European defenders, his spatial intelligence was anomalous. Most youth strikers chased the ball. Chrisantus let the ball find him. His movement in the box was remarkably mature. He had this deadpan composure. He rarely rushed his shots, he rather preferred to pick corners with calculated accuracy. He made German and Argentine defenders look like schoolboys in that tournament. In the semi-finals against Germany, he came up against a German team anchored by a young tactical unit and brilliance. But Chrisantus' intelligent display gave him the edge. His body positioning dragged the defenders assigned to neutralize him out of the half space, creating a direct lane for his midfield. When the crosses arrives, his touches aren't heavy, but one with subtle intelligence. It was in one of those moments he scored the 3rd goal against their German opponent to seal off a 3-1 win and earning a place in finals against Spain. At that exact moment, the corporate vultures descended. In modern football, a young African player with a golden boot isn't just an athlete. He is a financial derivative. He is a multi-million-dollar lottery ticket for everyone around him. Back home in Nigeria, Chrisantus was attached to Hearts of Abuja, an academy with complex, multi-layered ownership structures. When Real Madrid and Chelsea came calling, they brought sophisticated legal teams. They wanted direct buyouts. But this is where the first hidden tragedy occurred. The sudden, devastating loss of the one man who actually cared about his career over a paycheck. Nigeria's under-17 manager coach Yemi Teller sadly died. Just weeks after guiding these boys to triumph, coach Yemi Teller passed away from lungs cancer. He wasn't just a tactician, he was the psychological anchor for Chrisantus. Teller knew the treacherous waters of European transfers. With his death, the teenage striker was left entirely at the mercy of ambitious agents and representatives who saw immediate financial clearance as the primary objective. Instead of choosing the sporting project of Real Madrid, where he could have integrated into the Castilla system, or Chelsea's elite loan network, Chrisantus's camp made a decision that baffled the football world. They chose Hamburger SV in the German Bundesliga because they offered more money. It was a decision sold as a stepping stone. In reality, it was a legal and structural prison sentence. When Chrisantus arrived in Germany in January 2008, the media expected him to be fast-tracked into the first team. Hamburg was a Bundesliga heavyweight at the time, competing for European spots. But behind the scenes, a bureaucratic nightmare was unfolding that the public knew nothing about. Because of strict FIFA regulations, to circumvent this, his management team secured his entry on an educational visa. Think about the psychological weight of this for a moment. While Toni Kroos was gaining vital top-flight minutes under the bright lights of the Allianz Arena with Bayern Munich, the Golden Boot winner of the World Cup was legally banned from stepping onto a Bundesliga pitch. He was forced to train and play with Hamburg's reserve team in the regional Liga Nord, the semi-professional fourth tier of German football. For an elite teenage athlete, development is linear. If you halt their progression for 12 months, you don't just pause their growth, you actively damage their trajectory. Chrisantus spent his critical, formative year playing against part-time defenders, plumbers, and university students. The razor-sharp edge that made him a monster in Korea began to dull. But the nightmare didn't stop with bureaucracy. Nature struck its own cruel blow. Chrisantus once stated, "I was actually in good form when I moved to Hamburg, but things changed when I got there. Injury slowed me down. I had so many dreams when I moved to Germany, but I couldn't realize much because it was a challenging phase for me." Severe muscle tears and recurring physical setbacks plagued his time in Germany. His body was changing, growing, adjusting to the brutal, freezing European winters after a lifetime of playing in the humid heat of Abuja. By the time Chrisantus turned 18 and was legally permitted to sign a professional contract, the landscape at Hamburg had completely shifted. The management staff that had bought him was gone. New managers arrived with their own tactical philosophies, and they had no interest in a teenager whose development had stalled in the reserves and who was constantly in the treatment room. The momentum was completely dead. Hamburg realized they had an expensive asset rotting on the vine. So, they did what modern clubs do, they turned him into a loanee. Between 2009 and 2012, Chrisantus entered the meat grinder of the German second division. He was shipped to Karlsruhe SC, then to FSV Frankfurt. Yet, against all odds, the talent didn't completely die. In 2012, his contract with Hamburg expired. He was finally free. He packed his bags and moved to the sunny Canary Islands to sign for UD Las Palmas in Spain's Segunda Division. And for a brief, glorious moment, the ghost returned. Spain suited him. The technical nature of the league allowed his spatial intelligence to shine again. Over 2 seasons, Chrisantus scored 22 goals in 75 appearances. He became a fan favorite at the Estadio de Gran Canaria. He led them to consecutive La Liga promotion playoffs. He was only 23 years old. La Liga clubs were circling. It looked like the ultimate redemption arc. The prince was finally going to claim his crown. But then, the curse of poor representation struck again. At the end of his 2-year stint, Las Palmas offered him a contract extension. However, his representatives felt his resurrected form deserved a massive financial windfall. They rejected the extension, demanding terms Las Palmas simply couldn't meet. They promised Chrisantus a lucrative move to the top-flight European League. Instead, they walked him straight over a cliff. When the smoke cleared from the contract negotiations, the elite offers didn't materialize. Desperate to secure a payday, his camp signed him with Sivasspor in Turkey. Within months, the legendary manager who brought him there, Roberto Carlos, left the club. Chrisantus was frozen out. From that moment on, his career became an exercise in geopolitical geography rather than football. He went to AEK Athens in Greece, where financial instability and managerial changes disrupted his rhythm. He drifted to Reus and Murcia in the Spanish lower divisions. Then to Finland with HJK Helsinki, where he played on artificial turf in near-freezing temperatures. By 2019, he was playing in Iran for Zobahan, followed by a stint in Saudi Arabia's lower divisions, and even a spell in the tiny, semi-professional League of Gibraltar. With every move, his salary plummeted. His name, once a golden currency in the offices of European sporting directors, was now treated as a cautionary tale. And perhaps the bitterest pill of all? The national team. In Nigeria, the Super Eagles transitioned through several golden eras. Players he had completely outshone in his youth were earning caps, playing in World Cups, and becoming national heroes. Because Chrisantus was constantly moving, playing in untelevised leagues, and battling physical inconsistency, successive national team coaches completely ignored him. The boy who carried his nation to a world title never got to wear the senior green and white jersey. Today, Macauley Chrisantus is 35 years old. In the grand tapestry of football history, his name is often brought up in internet forums under a simple, tragic heading, "What happened to him?" The story of Macauley Chrisantus is not a story of a lack of talent. It is not even a story of a player who ruined his career through partying or a lack of discipline. It is a much more terrifying reality. It is a story of how a young boy's destiny can be permanently derailed by a single bad contract, a flawed visa strategy, and the insatiable greed of an unregulated industry. It proves that in the modern game, talent is merely raw material. Without the right infrastructure, the right guidance, and the right club at the exact right microsecond of your youth, you can be chewed up and spat out by the football machine before you even have a chance to show the world who you are. Toni Kroos retired as a king. Macauley Chrisantus remains a ghost, a haunting reminder of what happens when the dream goes completely wrong. But if you ever watched the tapes of that summer in 2007, remember the number 9 in the green shirt. For one beautiful, fleeting month, he wasn't a nomad. He wasn't a warning sign. He was the greatest teenage striker on planet Earth.